Hey there folks, my name is Peter, and on today's video we are going to replace a trailer bunk on my pontoon boat trailer. So one of the great things about my new home is that there's a marina attached to it. I put my trailer at that marina not too long ago, and as I did so, I just ran my hand across the trailer bunks and I was shocked by what I found. I had bunks that weren't attached properly with the lag screws, maybe because the board itself had sort of rotted a little bit or the screw was just missing. And then in some cases, the worst case, I had a trailer bunk that you stuck your finger in and the thing was just mush, right? The board had basically just purely disintegrated. I don't know how long it's been like that for. Lesson learned. Got to keep an eye on this stuff moving forward. So for today, I went out and I bought a piece of 2x4x12 pressure treated wood. I also bought a 100-foot spool of trailer bunk carpet. I don't need 100 feet, but that's all they had at Home Depot, and I really want to take the boat out of the water sooner rather than later, so I got to get this fixed, and it was all that they had. Given how big this piece of wood is, we're not going to work at this bench today. I'm going to take you over there and we'll walk through the materials. But before I do, as always, if you're into tools, EDC, or do-it-yourself projects, be sure to subscribe to this channel. So in terms of materials for today's project, this is the pressure treated piece 2x4x12 that I was talking about earlier. Now, I did a lot of research online. Some people suggest just buy any piece of dimensional lumber, it'll work. Other websites are saying you definitely want pressure treated. To me, logically, it makes a lot of sense that you would use pressure treated. This thing is going to be outside or in the water all the time. So I don't know why you wouldn't go for pressure treated, but if you have some feedback in the comments, I would love to hear it. Next, the biggest thing, this is what I was talking about. This is 100 feet of trailer bunk carpet. I don't know, what do you say about it? It's a big roll of carpet. I don't need nearly 100 feet, I only need about 12, but I suspect this is the type of repair I'm gonna be doing more of than less of in the future, so we will have it. And then in terms of adhering the carpet to the wood, I got this Roberts 6700 indoor-outdoor carpet adhesive. This is what I found as I was reading articles. They said like, hey, this is a good thing to use. To apply it, I've got a trowel, and then you're gonna have to staple this, right? So I spent up, I got some T50 half-inch stainless steel staples, and then I actually bought myself a brand new tool with which to apply these staples. I have your regular old grandpa's staple gun, but you know, I think every project deserves a new tool, right? New project, next tool. I'm not ready to show you that tool just yet though, but stay tuned and we'll talk about it when we get there. Hint, it's red. And then finally, I've got some lag screws here. Now this black lag screw came off of the trailer bunk before. This was the closest that I could find at Home Depot. The head size looks about to be the same, 9/16. This one is ever so slightly shorter. Very small amount. I'm not even sure how to estimate it, but nonetheless, I think it's gonna work. I would have liked to have bought stainless steel for these because again, outside, water. They didn't have stainless steel lag screws at Home Depot. And I need this project to get done, so I couldn't wait for a delivery and everything else. So if these turn out to be a problem, replacing the screws is a lot easier than replacing this whole board, and we can always do that again in the future. In terms of order of operations, now if I were like tiling a wall, right, I would go over the wall with a little piece of sandpaper just to make sure there was enough rigid area or grippy surface to accept the adhesive. Now, my assumption is I'm going to be doing basically the same thing here today. I'm going to take a piece of like 80 grit sandpaper just by hand just to try to scuff this up a little bit. Then my plan is to apply the adhesive using the trowel. I'll lay out the piece of carpet over it, and at that point we're just stapling and installing. For the installation, you all get to come along with me. We're going to take the Kawasaki Mule, drive it over to the marina, and hopefully it doesn't rain, but like I said, this project must get done today, so let's get into it. So like I said, this is just a 60 grit sandpaper. I'm just trying to get this scuffed up enough so that I can make good contact between the wood and the carpet. Before I get into actually applying the adhesive, I think it would make a lot of sense, because this is taking up a lot of space in my area, I would like to get this placed so I can cut it down and then get rid of this roll. All right, so I got about 6 inches on either side. Let me cut this piece. All right, so I just had a great idea of how I'm gonna get the carpet onto my board once the adhesive has been applied. I just re-rolled it up, right? And the side that's facing up is the carpet side that we want the boat to be making contact with. So once we get it on there, we'll just sort of unroll it. Okay, beautiful. All right, so I've got my adhesive opened. I think I'm ready to get started. I want to get my new tool set up because I just don't know how quickly this is all gonna sort of come together. I told you the new tool is red, and of course, it's the Milwaukee crown stapler. Now, did I need to buy a crown stapler for this project? No, but does it make the project all that more enjoyable knowing that you got a sweet new tool at your disposal? Yes. So, let's get this puppy unboxed and loaded up with some staples. Then we will get our adhesive applied and go from there. I decided to put on gloves because I already got a little bit of the stuff on my hands and I don't want any more of it on my hands. All right, right out of the box, the machine's working beautifully. Again, I don't need it for this, but if I think about how many staples I'm gonna have to put in here, and then if I do this job again in the future, I got a great deal. I got the crown stapler with 2 M12 batteries, one of which was their like XC 4.0s. The whole thing was like 180 bucks. So hell of a deal at Home Depot. If it's still available, I'll put a link in the description, as I will put a link to all of this stuff that I'm using today in the description. If you use my link, I get a little bit of money. It's not that much, but I do appreciate it. Now, this is not my ideal trowel setup. I have tons of tiling and equipment and trowels and different things. It doesn't seem to be at the new house yet. So I bought this trowel brand new. It says specifically for carpet adhesive, so not that it matters, we're just talking about the teeth there, but let's give it a try. And see, this is my greatest fear. I don't want to make a mess on this table. Be honest, this is stressful. I can be honest with the YouTube community. Stressful because I only have one of these pressure treated 2x4s. I really don't want to have to drive all the way back to Home Depot to buy another one if I do it wrong. Okay, so that seems like it worked well. Let's see. Nice. Okay. So one mistake that I could tell you I made already is that I have more carpet here than I do here. Now, in both cases, it's covering the entirety of the side. It's just not going to wrap very well. So I don't love that, but I think it's okay. Oh man, all right. Let's get you guys over here to check out the work. All right, apologies for the shaky hand film work here, but you could sort of see where our staples are. And then if I hold the camera up here, you can really tell on the right hand side all the way towards the end, we really veered, which bums me out because, you know, I love this area where we have sort of even on both sides, and then you get down here and it's just not so. But honestly, I'm pretty pleased. First time making a trailer bunk, and I don't know, it looks like a trailer bunk to me. So let's load this thing up in the mule, get our socket set, and get her installed. All right, we got the mule loaded up. Boy, that thing is going to the sky. We will not be on any public roads, so we will be safe. Got our tool bag, we got our 9/16 impact. Hopefully I brought everything. You know, the tough part about doing jobs away from your toolbox is you got to remember to bring everything, but our Vito Pro Pack should have us covered. All right, folks, so we're at the job site. Now this, first of all, do you hear that? Do you feel that? You should not be able to do that. You could just see, I mean, it is just completely falling apart. So let's get the rest of this thing off of here and put our fancy new bunk on here. Oh, look at this thing. Terrible. So this thing only has one bolt left. Oop. Now when I lift this up, watch what happens. That is not what your trailer bunk is supposed to look like. All right, folks, so that's the end of today's video. I'm definitely gonna be back and doing this project again. The new bunk that I put on there feels solid. It's not going anywhere. I don't think that the adhesive really took to the pressure treated wood. I feel a lot of like sort of bumpy spots, which is to say I think you probably could have just done the whole thing with staples, or maybe I shouldn't have bought pressure treated wood. I don't really know. I'm hoping you all in the comments can help me out. And like I said, this is just going to get me through this season. And I think next year I'm probably going to replace every single bunk that's on here. But none of them were as bad as this puppy. I mean, that is just not what this is supposed to look like. So thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. I mean, what is this?